Ladies and gentlemen, control your engines. Fan-controlled sports and entertainment is heading to the NASCAR Xfinity Championship race in Phoenix, Arizona. Fans choose the driver, the car design, and 4 lucky fans get their face on the car. Download the fan-controlled Control app and start voting now. This is Fan-Controlled Racing. Oh, Leighton! We made it to a Tuesday! And guess what? We are live on the app. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Back to Work. Here every single Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Happy Halloween, Leighton. Are you going trick-or-treating tonight?
I was going to dress up as a Falcons fan.
Oh, just be really sad and drunk?
Yeah, super sad, disappointed, you know.
What you could do is you could dress up as Desmond Ritter and then hand out candy to kids on Halloween and just miss them. Just miss the bag.
Hey, he had a concussion. That's the excuse we're going with. We're going to stick with it.
You could hey, go out. I'll throw you this Snickers bar and then just hit some other kid with it. Yes, yeah. Exactly. Welcome everybody. Hey, if you're watching live right now, awesome. Some testing of the app of the pick and poll. So you can get in there. Listen, the polls really aren't going to make a ton of sense as to what you're watching for a lot. We're going to do like do you want it 2 tires, 4 tires, pit now? Should we start high line, low line? And then that information is going to be relayed to me via our crack team behind the scenes of the legends that work here. We've got people doing picks and polls. Jessica Samola, Ruthless Cutie, unfortunately, is not with us today. She is trick-or-treating with her family. Yeah.
Something missing.
You could feel the energy not here that she's not here, right? And so she's trick-or-treating with her family. And so it's just Leighton and I. And then we're working with the team backstage to make sure that by Saturday, November 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, live from Phoenix Raceway and parts unknown, whether it be North Carolina, California, Fan-Controlled Racing takes the track. JJ Yeley in the 08 car, the Yeley jacket, will be racing around the Phoenix Raceway in the Xfinity Championship. Leighton, do you know that last week the 08 car came in second place? Second place.
Oh, so then this week the 08 cars come in first place.
It's gonna win. We're gonna win.
We're gonna win.
We're gonna win.
All right,
for it.
I've never won a car race. Have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, then
my dad taught me to drive on a circular parking lot when I was 14. Yeah, you heard that, 14. And he told me to drive a little bit slower because I was taking those turns a little bit like I was in a NASCAR race. And I've always thought I would be an awful race car driver, mostly because I hate driving. I drove so much this past. I do not like road trips. I don't like driving, period. I hate it. Yeah.
See, I'm specific. I don't like driving my car because it sits so low. But you put me in a Suburban or like a bigger, our road trip. It's fun.
Really?
It's high up. It's comfortable. It's spacious.
As somebody that drove a Sprinter van through like the desert of Texas and Arizona and New Mexico, I can tell you right now, I don't like driving big things either. I don't like driving anything, period. The thought that what I could do behind that wheel is actually hurt somebody does not interest me at all.
That's creepy, Josh.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. OVO Ghost in the chat, Freddie Airmail in the chat. Freddie Airmail will be here a little bit later to talk some college football. But again, November 4th, this Saturday, 4 days from now, we will be live in Phoenix for the Xfinity Championship for the first ever fan-controlled car. You, the fans, have decided the driver already. The design of the car, which is up on our social media, the Yeley jacket. It is a fire-looking
time lapse is so cool.
It's sick, right?
I was so excited for the time lapse. So
yes. And we're also, if you go and look on the app right now, you can vote on things like the right rear spring, the left rear spring, the right rear bumper, the wedge, the sway bar. You can do all of that stuff in order to make our car the best it can be based solely on your opinions as fans, so that on Saturday, on Saturday, you, the fans, will be controlling a car to hopefully bring home the checkered flag. Donuts, all kinds of stuff. Ovio Ghost says, yeehaw, NASCAR.
That's about kind of
well, Ovio Ghost, we have nothing to yeehaw about with the Steelers. Somehow, Leighton, in the wild world of whatever, the San Francisco 49ers now have Chase Young on that defense.
Yeah, I know. How do you think we feel? We were rumored to get him first, and then we didn't. That's always what happens. There's always a rumor. Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith are going to go after this big name. It doesn't happen, and then the 49ers get him.
I just are we getting to the era of where football teams are going to be super teams, where they're just going to take less money to win championships? Is that going to be a thing?
Yes.
I hate that,
but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm trying to think of how it's going to look, but it's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of defensive players, mainly defensive linemen, are going to take pay cuts to help teams bolster. Teams are going to be paying a boatload of money to rookie running backs coming into the league. Pay them for their front 3 years of their career, get all that money. And yeah, we're going to have super teams. And the NFC is going to be the Eagles and the 49ers for a while. I don't know what the AFC is going to be. Probably the Chiefs versus whoever. But yeah.
I just that you're taking away the last bastion of hope in the fact that we have salary caps and there is league parity. And then all of a sudden we're going to get Kevin Duranted. Somehow the 49ers just keep getting better. People want to go play for them.
Well, if it's any hope, as long as Kyle Shanahan is their coach, they're going to blow fourth quarter leads, and they're not going to win anything. So there it is. If there's any hope, Josh. I hate Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, apparently not a big Shanna fan. A fan of Shan? Fanahan.
Not a Shanna fan. Not a fan of Shan.
Yeah, none of them. Period. No. It's like the rich get richer kind of a thing. So here's what's going to happen. I'm watching on text where our polls are now. If you're out here, I'll little behind the curtain. We got Ian Peacock behind the camera, and we've got John Brostrom, JB. Shout out Ian. Shout out JB. Okay.
Yeah.
When a poll is up, just text me and tell me, hey, this poll is up, and I can tell fans, hey, that poll is up. I see it's in the app because I can only do so many things. And one of those things is hosting these shows and hosting the stream on Saturday for around 4 hours. So my energy is going to have to be up. My frustration level is going to have to be down. And like Freddie Airmail said, I shanafant be doing any. Okay. Are you looking live at the app? Are you looking live at the app?
Do I take Freddie or Jason?
Oh, I think you take Jason. Jason's scarier than Freddie. He's only got those claws.
Yeah.
Can I host and chew gum at the same time, Freddie? Yes, I can. That I can do. I can also rub my tummy and pat my head at the same time. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to turn down the volume on the app. Oh, there's an advertisement.
I don't know who to choose here.
And by the by, I have recently upgraded my Fanvatar. I now carry golf clubs, and I have a sick new pair of eyeglasses. Okay, and if you're out there and you have been playing the mini games like the racing game and the golf game, which I've personally find the racing game to be extremely difficult. It is very hard, Leighton. I'm not even, like I said, I'm not good at driving. I
crashed and I didn't even swipe my thumb.
Yes.
Like it went the direction I didn't even swipe.
Okay, so the high line, low line vote is out right now. The poll, that will be one of the things that you can vote on during race day. On restarts, after cautions, high line, low line. Wholesome Vader says, thoughts on the Vikings Cardinals trade. Dobbs been everywhere, man. Freddie Airmail said, Freddie Airmail said Dobbs was in Pittsburgh. Then he was winning games in Arizona. Now the Vikings have brought him on to replace Kirk Cousins, whose Achilles ruptured this past weekend. I love Josh Dobbs, and I never thought he got a fair shake in Pittsburgh. Right? No. He was behind. He was somehow behind friggin' not Landry Jones, Mason Rudolph, who not good. Then he went to the Browns, then he went to the Cardinals, and he proved to be at least worthy of an NFL starting job.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Kyler Murray down there. So
if you were me, would you think that Kenny Pickett is not the answer, or do you think he hasn't gotten a fair shake yet? Like he hasn't gotten an offense, or he hasn't gotten the ability to kind of sling it and play because he's a player. He's not. I
I'm
still think
starting as a football fan. I'm starting to blame coaches a lot more than players. I am. Like even with our situation in Atlanta, I blame Arthur Smith way more than I blame Desmond Ritter. I would have never told him to have three wide receivers lined up on the goal line. For what? Hand it off. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm starting to blame coaches. I think that Matt Canada is just a terrible offensive coordinator. Because look at the offense he ran when he was at Pitt. That was a very fast, a very widespread athletic offense.
Yes.
You all are playing in 1978 right now.
100%.
So
Yes.
I blame coaching. I think Kenny Pickett is who he is.
When has he looked his best, Leighton? In 2-minute drills. When he can sling, right?
That's just,
Why aren't they running like the Jim Kelly pistol offense from the Buffalo Bills in the 90s? Just
at what point does your head coach say, "Hey, let the players play"? Like they're professionals at this point, right? So they know how they're going to play. And quarterbacks, especially if they're a slinger, let them sling. Let them do what they do best.
There's nothing exciting about, I want to say, like 90% of offenses in the NFL. Is it because these guys are scared of losing their job? Like, I understand probably, but why aren't we just slinging the pill all over the place? Like running up that run pass option, doing things that make this game a little more exciting instead of dink and dunk. Nate Skywalker 7, tighten up, baby.
I guess they don't want to. Oh, screw the Titans. Anyway, I guess they don't. They don't want the NFL to look like college football. That's why. I mean, what 90% of college football is? Can you outscore me? I know you can't stop me, so can you outscore me?
Yeah, but that's fun. That's fun football.
Well, is it? I mean, were you really watching a lot of Big 12 football? Because that's really what it was.
Well, no, because I wasn't watching Big 12 football because I have a Big 12 team. But let me tell you something, Leighton, as a lifelong Big 10 fan, I can tell you straight up, I hate that style of football. I hate it. The most fun season we ever had at Penn State was when Larry Johnson racked up over 2,000 yards of offense, right? He was running all over the place. He was catching footballs. Listen, offense, they say defense wins championships. Sure.
Yeah.
But offense gets you places, right?
No, it gets you. I mean, that's how LSU won our 2019 title.
Thank you.
Defense was outstanding. Nobody can stop our offense. Yeah.
My app froze, so I don't know if there's polls up. Leighton, I'm just looking.
Freddie Emerald says Penn State should have stayed independent.
What, back in 1991? No, we wouldn't have. We couldn't push the needle for the money that we're getting in the Big Ten. And I'm not seeing, just a heads up to John Brostrom and to Ian, I'm not seeing any picks and polls on my app. So maybe they have come and gone since I've talked. I don't know. Wholesome Vader does not like your opinion on the or Nate Skywalker 7 says he didn't like your response to his tighten up. Oh, F the Titans.
Yeah, F the Titans. For y'all. Y'all are a divisional team. So I hate you.
But you're not even in the AFC.
I know. We just lost to them. That's why.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
And they're like, you saw the Houston Oilers theme uniform?
Oh, that's tough. That's hard to watch.
You didn't see those?
No, I did. No team in Tennessee should be wearing a Houston Oilers jersey. Okay. The Texans should be allowed to wear the Oilers jerseys.
Well, the University of Houston have their own uniforms, and the NFL sent them a cease and desist.
In the Houston Oiler colors?
Yes. The University of Houston has like Houston Oilers colors, third option uniforms. They're fire. And the NFL just sent them a cease and desist yesterday.
That's bullshit.
Because the Titans don't like it. That's why.
That's BS. That's BS because there in no world, guys, John and Ian. Okay, here's what's going to happen. This is a test run, Leighton. This is you need to tell me what vote is up because my app isn't showing me what is up. I'm seeing no picks and I'm seeing no polls, so I don't know what is in there. So I can't look at what is happening in the this.
Can you hear me? Oh no, rip Josh. Yeah. Well, in the meantime, these are the Houston Cougars uniforms. These are sick. I know y'all see these, right? Okay. So now the NFL sends a cease and desist on these uniforms, and I think it's total BS. I mean, maybe Houston should have called and said, hey, can we do this? The same way UGA has the right to use their logo from the Packers, and Iowa hit up the Steelers to say, hey, can we, have that uniform? But yeah, NFL sent a cease and desist. So still, it's just total BS, man. But these are sick. Yep, definitely having technical difficulties, y'all. All right. So while we wait on Josh to hop back into the chat, and there he is, right on time, because I was about to start acting out Bug's Life again.
It's not great when the internet is slow. I'm guessing it's Halloween. Who knows? But I will say on race day, I've told everybody in my family that they cannot be on the internet for upwards of 5 to 6 hours. How's that? How's that sound?
Everybody's outside.
Yeah. Yeah. We live on a ranch. Go out and enjoy the outdoors. That's all we can give you. Okay. The next poll that is going up is, should we pit in 5 laps or 7 laps? Let me know if you see that, Leighton. Are you looking at the app right now? Are you looking at the app? Oh, look at you. And it just popped up.
Well, no, this is the rear spring weight. I don't understand this one. What is
I don't. I gave you 2 options to which JJ Yaley said they would be fine. Nate Skywalker 7. Will Levis had a crazy first game, though. I hope it's consistent. I love the fact that Will Levis had a great first game. Yeah. I do, because I felt bad for that dude during the draft. I really did. He
kept falling and falling and yeah.
Yes. I mean, do we think it lasts? I don't know.
Where's the guy who was drafted the same year as Ritter? He played at Liberty. He's on the Titans.
Oh, Malik Willis.
Yeah, is he still on their roster?
I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know that Kenny Pickett. It was between him and Kenny Pickett, and they took Kenny Pickett, and then Malik Willis, I think, didn't go until like the 3rd round, Freddie, if I'm not mistaken. I think Malik Willis didn't go to the 3rd round. That was such a tough QB draft. And then this next one with Caleb Williams and Drake May is going to be, that's going to be a draft.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can throw a, so Leighton, in order for you to see these polls, you have to go into the live show. You have to go into the live event.
Oh, gotcha.
See, yes. Here's my biggest issue is I think the only team right now in the NFL that is legitimately better than everybody else for the most part is Philadelphia. And I hate to say it.
I hate to say it.
Yes.
And what sucks is Julio Jones is on there, even though I think he's going to give him 6 games, and there goes his hip. There goes his calf.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. Like he's been so injury prone the last 3 to 5 years of his career, right? Like he was so good when he was good. He was so good when he was good. I mean, he was a fantasy moneymaker. Every time he touched the ball, something happened.
King of yards after catch.
King. And then the body, listen, time is undefeated. None of these guys are going to beat it.
No.
Freddie Emerald says they're winning, but they're playing bad games close.
They sound like UGA.
Yeah, but they're still winning. The thing. There's a lot of teams playing good games close and not winning. I mean, I guess last week with Patrick Mahomes out, I would put the Chiefs in there when Patrick Mahomes is healthy and Travis Kelce is healthy. But when if Travis Kelce gets hurt, and talk about time coming up on somebody, they're not that good.
No, I mean, we saw you saw that game against the Lions. Like that was terrible.
Yes. Nate Skywalker 7. Julio has a hamstring made of jello. When he played for the Titans, he always missed practice because of it. SMH. Poll guys, let's see. Can you put it up there? What is Julio Jones's hamstring made out of? Is it jello or is it pudding? Jello or pudding? There you go.
I like banana pudding.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I love pudding. You kidding?
I think there's a lot of people
tapioca.
that don't like banana.
What?
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people that don't like it.
Freddie Emerald, Jelly O Jones. Not too bad.
Yeah.
This last weekend in the NFL, seeing a team like the Broncos beat the Chiefs for the first time since the Obama administration is is wild, but it doesn't give me any hope that the Broncos are good. It's in those games where I'm thinking to myself, well, this is the week that the Chiefs just decided, hey, well, our bad, right?
Yeah.
That's one of those games
Mhm.
where because the Eagles manhandled the Cowboys, meaning do we think the Cowboys are good? No, I think they're fine. Are the Ravens are they that big of a winner? Right? Like are the Ravens? I think the Ravens are so hot and cold. I don't trust Lamar
I already know
Jackson.
how the story is gonna go for the Ravens. We already know how this is gonna go.
Talk.
Yeah.
Talk it.
Look, they're gonna dominate. They're gonna look really good in the regular season, and they're gonna get booted in the divisional round.
See?
Somebody's gonna get injured. That's always what happens. And the defense doesn't show up, and Lamar Jackson kind of tightens up. I want to say he chokes, but basically tightens up in the game, and there's nothing's gonna come of it.
So he tightens up like the Tennessee Titans, or he tightens up
like Julio Jones's hamstring. Yes.
Yes, correct. Well, it's hard to tighten up Jello. Maybe the Jello Jigglers from back in the 90s.
Freddie? I'm sorry. What? A Ravens Cowboys Super Bowl? No.
I don't think that's going to happen. Sorry, Freddie.
Honestly, if it could be a 49ers Eagles Super Bowl, I would vote that.
I mean, if the 49ers need to stay healthy, that is one thing I hate about football. Is it really is it 100% relies on health. The entire sport relies on people staying healthy.
And it sucks because if you do lose that really good player and you end up losing the game, you can't even use that in your argument, and that is your only argument why you lost. Like we only lost because we didn't have our pass rusher, or we only lost because our quarterback got hurt.
The year that we beat the Bengals and Antonio Brown got his head kicked off by Vontaze Burfict, and then we went and lost to the Peyton Manning Broncos the next week. That team could have and should have won the Super Bowl. That was the best we were that whole time. Unfortunately, Le'Veon Bell got hurt at the same time every season, right before the playoffs or during a playoff game. Every single time.
It looks like we're going to win a Super Bowl. I'm out.
No, I'm done. And I'm going to hold out for a year and then never play good football again. And then come back and apologize to the Steeler fans. Hey, Le'Veon, go yourself. Okay? You left us high and dry in a year. It was the year before Antonio Brown lost his mind. We needed one more year before he went crazy. One more. Then we could have been done with him. But instead, you left us high and dry. And yeah, like James Conner was fine, but he was no Le'Veon Bell. I'll tell you that much. Le'Veon Bell was so good when he was good. That offense was so good. And then Vontaze Burfict. You know what?
That's another. I think that's why I'm worried about Kenny Pickett, because that'll be the second Pitt player that came out of college high profile that's not really going to succeed for the Steelers. And I don't like that.
Well, James Conner played well, but then we didn't want to pay him. And he's played pretty well in Arizona. He's played decently in Arizona. He's earning his check
down there. So
I just being a quarterback and being a running back, completely different beasts, right? And Kenny Pickett has been given no chance to succeed, right? He came into an offense, and listen, I love Mike Tomlin. I think he is a great coach that is awful at hiring coordinators.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Where's Joe Brady? How did y'all not get Joe Brady to be y'all's offensive coordinator?
I don't know. Leighton? How do we never get somebody to bring in an like I always thought that for the last few years it was Ben Roethlisberger because he always was just audibling at the line, so our offense or OC didn't matter. But now I'm in the ballpark of the OC. The OC does matter or doesn't matter. Okay, a new poll is going up live in our tire choice. How about here's a poll. Is Philadelphia the only good team in the NFL? Yes or no? Just straight up. Is Philadelphia the only good team in?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Totally, it's not football related. What, like, if you could be anything in NASCAR, what would you be? Would you be on the pit crew? Would you be a driver? Would you be,
I would be a driver. I think I would actually be pretty decent at it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I'd want to be anything else. There's so much pressure on that pit crew to do that like perfectly. Like, I don't have the
Oh,
hand
I'm
eye.
definitely I have to be the gas tank guy.
Oh, gas tank guy.
I'll be that. Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Up there on the pole now is, do we put 4 or 2 tires? How about the guy that holds the sign out that's like the number for where do you park in pit
Oh yeah,
road?
that's a simple job.
That's
How do you get fired from that?
I don't think you can. What about the
Yeah.
guy that has to hand the water bottle into the driver that's like reaching for it? He's like, "Hey, get me a
No,
water."
because now if my driver ends up being the guy that used his driver
Yes.
toilet, I have to
Yes.
smell it first. I don't want. I
Oh,
don't want.
yeah,
I don't want to.
yeah. If you didn't have water handed to you, what kind of drink are you going with? Are you going with like a Gatorade or like an iced tea or maybe a lemonade or like a, I don't know, root beer? What do you got? What do you got?
I mean, more like a Miller. Like I feel like you should be driving a little bit buzzed.
Wow.
Bad advice. Bad advice for me. I just think you should be driving a little bit buzzed, right?
That's called a demolition derby, Leighton.
Okay.
It's demolition derby. Speaking of demolition derby, let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Freddie Airmail. Talk a little college football. Freddie Airmail, welcome.
Freddie.
Cool.
All right. Nice.
You gonna talk, buddy?
My connection is lost. So I'm not seeing you guys right now. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Can you hear us?
How do I look? How am I looking right now?
I mean, you've never looked good, but
like a Star Wars hologram from the 70s.
Yeah, it's help me Obi-Wan.
You're not digging the haircut. You're not digging my Halloween costume.
You're just a Wild Aces fan, a once proud franchise.
I'm the ghost of champions past.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
4 tires just won 77%. We went 4 tires. Smart. Freddie, you think it's going to be Ravens who in the Super Bowl?
I projected Ravens Cowboys. That's just based on how everyone's doing right now. I know it's probably not going to happen for a number of reasons. I mean, like I said in the chat, there's plenty of season left to be played. Plenty of guys are going to get hurt, and the Cowboys are probably going to cowboy. So,
yeah, the Cowboys are going to cowboy for sure. What do you got?
That sounded like those in those war movies where the speech before they go off to war is like, many of you all are going to get hurt.
Some of you will die.
We'll die.
Hopefully only as many as we can afford.
Some of your TVs will explode from remote throwing and ripping off the wall. Yes. But at the end of the day, you will lose in the wild card. Congratulations, Cowboys fans. You did it again. And Ravens fans, congratulations. You made it all the way to week 14 with a healthy quarterback. But in week 14, he tore his Achilles or ruptured some sort of knee, or maybe just got a bad bone bruise, and he will never play back to where we wanted him playing in week 7, week 8, when you blew out who they would beat real bad. Miami, who they just beat really bad this past weekend. No, who they won like.
I just think it's funny because Ian is a huge Ravens fan. He has to watch this.
I'm doing this just to piss off Ian. Every word that comes out of my mouth. Yeah, it's all it. Woody the Duck says Mizzou going to beat the spread versus Georgia. All right, let's get into some college football. Freddie,
for sure.
There's your first question. Woody the Duck, Mizzou going to beat the spread versus Georgia? Question mark.
Well, I was going to mention Mizzou later on in this segment as one of my big surprises for the year. They are 7-1. Mm-hmm. I had them not even going to a bowl game this year, and they might be in contention for one of the big ones. Mm-hmm. I don't know that they cover. This is really one of their first big tests of the year. They did upset Kansas State earlier in the season. I think LSU is their one loss right now. Is that right?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
So I'm not even sure what the spread is. I think I might have them as like 2 touchdown underdogs.
Okay.
To the dogs. But I mean, they're still doing super well right now, and I could see them, winning out and going 10-2, winning everything other than what they had this week.
I feel like Missouri. Here's my comparison. Missouri's like the Iowa of the Big Ten. Same color scheme, same seasons where they always like, oh, whoa, Iowa's actually pretty good this year. Lose 3 straight, right? They're never going to compete for a national championship. They might get some playoff talk like early on, but then they'll fade pretty hard. Mm-hmm. They don't have a tradition that's so like, oh my God, I love Missouri football, right? It's just kind of like the people that like Missouri. Anybody outside of Missouri is like, oh, Missouri has a football team.
Yeah, and they probably know those traditions that just aren't getting out to a wider audience.
Yes.
So Woody says 16.5 to 20.5, depending on where you look. I think they could cover that
dispersion.
I think they could cover. I think they could cover that.
Oh, he's a Mizzou fan. That's okay.
But
okay.
But
Woody the
Georgia
Duck is a very honest, to the point dude. He's like, as a Mizzou fan, that hurts, but you're right. Hey, I listen. As a Penn State fan, I know. Okay,
I can with Woody the Duck.
Yes, I'm with Woody the Duck. Okay.
But speaking of Georgia,
yes,
let's talk about tonight's reveal of the first 2023 college football playoff rankings.
Okay. How do you think they're going to rank?
Georgia is one of 5 undefeated Power 5 teams right now, and I think those 5 are going to be your top 5 tonight. I would put Georgia at number 3 right now. Really? They're undefeated. They're doing fine, and they are back-to-back defending national champions. But if the committee is going to rank them on what they've done so far this year, they haven't been tested so much yet this year, and I mean they've looked all right. They've kind of looked like they're maybe sleepwalking a bit at points, but I would have 2 teams ahead of them that will play at the end of this regular season, and they will have that resolved. And right now, I would have Ohio State as my number 1 team.
Wow,
and Michigan at number 2. I know Michigan has been dominant in all their games so far this year. I think they've always scored at least 30 and kept their opponents to 10 or less.
Well, it's pretty easy when you're stealing all the signals. But go ahead.
That too. But I mean, they haven't played Penn State or Ohio State yet. And outside of those 3, who's the number 4 team in the Big Ten this year?
Probably Wisconsin, right?
Might be Wisconsin. It would have helped if they hadn't lost their quarterback to a broken hand a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it might be Iowa. It might be Rutgers.
I was going to say Iowa. Rutgers.
Yeah.
Rutgers is like 6-2 right now.
No, our buddy JB is saying the Gophers, Minnesota Golden Gophers.
It could be them.
PJ Fleck.
But
in hockey,
Ohio State has been tested already this year, not just with Penn State, but with Notre Dame, and they lost. They beat us because we made a pretty simple but costly mistake on that last couple of plays.
Okay.
But I would have Ohio State at number 1 right now.
Okay.
Because of that, regardless of, I think Michigan will beat them when they meet, but this is based on what they've done so far. So Ohio State 1, Michigan 2, Georgia is my 3, and I would have Florida State as my 4, and Washington as my 5.
Wow. Okay.
Washington lately, especially, has looked beatable, and they've really needed their quarterback Mike Penix to carry them in some of these games. And so, if they're going to LA to play USC here in a bit, I think this week.
USC, a team with absolutely no heart, no need to win. Caleb Williams just take himself out, because if he gets hurt and ruins his career playing against, it's stupid.
But I think if they can kind of get something together, they could beat Washington. Washington could also lose to Oregon State here. So they just need to make sure that they stay together.
USC could have lost to Cal. They had to score 50 points to beat Cal.
And Cal missed the 2-point conversion that would have won him the game at the end.
Cal had picks and turnovers, and I mean Cal gave him every chance to win, and they did again with 50 points. Quick, there was a poll that was just up, the high line, low line vote, which you'll be able to vote for November 4th during the live Xfinity Championship Saturday with fan controlled racing. 56% of people chose the low line. So again, the driver after a caution will be able to take the lines with the fan controlled race car. Download the app here. I'll put up the QR code. I got to get good at this one, although Jess will be doing it. Here's the QR code. Boom, hit that, and then we'll take it down. All right. Next up, Freddie, let's talk why my Penn State Nittany Lions suck. Is it because that we thought too much of Drew Aller? Did we think too much of Drew Aller?
I think maybe it's more like you thought that they'd be asking more of him right now. And he'd be accomplishing it. I think they're still kind of getting there with the pass game with him. And so maybe expectations on that whole situation were a bit high. I still have Penn State in like my top 11 right now. There's some
11?
lost
Did
teams.
you see what Ohio State did to us? I mean,
Yeah,
we almost lost to Indiana.
at the lower end of the top 11, but
So
we'll
11th.
Yeah.
What's that get me? That gets me nothing. What is next year? The 12-team playoff?
Yes.
Okay.
And
so we might make it in.
I mean, even now, if you're number 11 this year, you might not make the New Year's Six because they have to give a Group of 5 team. They have to give an ACC team the Orange Bowl, even if Florida State makes the playoff. And so Louisville would probably be in line for that right now. And they're not in my top 11.
Well, they did beat Notre Dame. Where's Notre Dame? Are they even in the top 25 anymore?
I'd have us at 12. We're 6-2. We have 2 quality losses, and we just destroyed the team that beat Louisville. So that kind of counts for something. Pitt.
Oh, wait, Pitt beat Louisville? My Pittsburgh Panthers beat Louisville?
They're Louisville's one loss right now. And we just beat them 58.
Pitt.
We beat them 58-7.
And that's classic Pitt too.
I didn't know that they even lost Pitt. I didn't know they played Pitt yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got Clemson this week.
Pitt has Clemson, or you have Clemson?
Notre Dame has Clemson this week, and I'm probably more nervous than the average Notre Dame fan about that one.
Does Dabo Swinney is he on a hot seat after this season? Like, is that a thing?
He's on the hot seat right now. They're 4-4.
Yeah,
I mean a 12-year-old just ripped him to pieces last night.
And he got mad at the 12-year-old and ranted for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
about like, come do my job. Well,
12-year-olds got to learn their place.
It might be open soon. So
I mean, he asked the valid questions. How are you getting paid? What, 10.2 and you're 4-4? Valid fan question
for real.
Jay Spacely says, "Where are the costumes?" Freddie's dressed as some kind of wild ace, and Leighton and I hate Halloween. So I'm not. I have to dress because my daughter is 2.5 years old. Hey, BC Line, good to see you. But Halloween, I used to just show up to Halloween parties and I would wear like collared shirts and shorts and say I was my dad on vacation. Real simple outfit. It's really simple. It's really easy. The next poll to go up will be a poll about when to pit. I just have laps poll next. Ian, it got to be a little more specific maybe next time. 7 laps, 95% win. I'm guessing that is when to pit in the next 5 laps or the next 7 laps. Woody the Duck says Freddie should have been Johnny Ace. There is but one Johnny Ace.
I'm almost there. I have the beard. Mm-hmm. I just would need sunglasses instead of these and probably better hair.
Yes.
But yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'm like halfway there.
Okay. Jay Spacely saying perfectly, this is what I would do. That's fair. I've got my overworked, underpaid employee costume on for the next 20 minutes or so. That makes sense. So basically, you're like every Pittsburgh Pirate, right? That's the costume that you're on. That's it. All right, Freddie. Who do you like for the? Who do we like?
For the Heisman, I've got my 5 written down, and I just checked, and they are in the top 6 of the current odds.
Okay.
Only one. And I have 2 guys that I'd really like.
Shedeur Jackson.
One of them,
no,
not Shedeur Sanders.
He's in my honorable mention. Sanders. Sorry.
No. I'd really love Jaden Daniels for it. If LSU didn't have 2 losses already, and if they didn't still have to worry about Alabama.
Is he your pick, Clayton? Is Jaden Daniels?
There's nobody else in the country that could contest him. He's the favorite.
On an individual level,
wow, Leighton, wow,
he'd be my top guy.
Okay,
he's having a better season than anyone right now at that position. But the one guy that I would have ahead of him because of where I think his team is going is Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is in Auburn now. Where is he now?
Oregon. He was at Auburn. Right. He transferred to Oregon.
Right.
And I probably have Oregon as my number 6 team. I would have him in my top 5 if I would have to put them ahead of the team that beat them, Washington.
Yeah.
So
that was one of the better games of the year so far. Was that Washington-Oregon game for sure?
And I expect a good rematch where I would expect Oregon to win at this point
in the Pac-12 championship.
In the Pac-12 championship.
Okay.
Okay.
It's weird that they're in the same. Yeah,
anymore.
What's up with the divisions? And the good thing they're getting rid of them.
They don't have divisions there anymore, so it's just the best 2 teams. Mm-hmm. And so,
well done.
Probably for the better. And that's how we got Utah versus USC last year.
Right.
After those guys, I would have Mike Penix out of Washington. He's still having
It's pronounced
a pretty good season.
Phoenix. Okay.
I've heard it both ways.
Mike Penix. Okay. The man's family chose a name so close to male genitalia, and instead of choosing a letter at Ellis Island when they got off that didn't sound like penis, they chose an X, which is as close to an S as you get. Mike Penix. Is that fucking ridiculous or what?
At least he's not as injury prone as he used to be.
This is true, at least for now.
He can't be a broken Penix anymore.
He can't be a broken Penix. Get that guy a catheter, Leighton. Leighton does not like this bit. Leighton is out.
He's my 3. He's had a couple games where he's been shut down.
Okay.
But he's almost hard carrying this team right now.
Okay.
Yes. My 4 would be JJ McCarthy, quarterback at Michigan. He hasn't been asked to do so much this year. I was
going to say he's kind of just
regularly
right?
pulled before the end of games because they've been doing so well. But I really want to see how he does against Ohio State and Penn State. I really want to see, if he keeps up this same level of play that he's been having. And then my 5 is my only non-quarterback on my list, which is Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver, Ohio
Don't say it, Leighton. Don't you say it. Don't even fucking say it.
I just have a question.
Don't say it. Don't call him Maserati Marv. Do not do it.
Oh, I was going to say that. I had a legit question.
Okay, go ahead.
What is it going to take for the Heisman to not be the quarterback award?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's a really
that's just all it is.
I don't have the answer. I'm just I don't have the answer for that one. It's just, so much of football right now runs through those quarterbacks, but
it's the
thing that Harrison has is he's making a really just okay looking quarterback and Kyle McCord look great.
Yeah.
Which is, kind of just what Ohio State wide receivers have been doing for years now.
That's true.
Not wrong. The Penn State defense was on the field the whole friggin' time, and we still, we kept Marvin Harrison in check as best you can, right?
So, we kept him under 100.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
he's had a couple games where he's been shut down, and that's kind of why he's not. That's why I have him at 5. But he's still got the best case, I think, of a non-quarterback. My honorable mentions right now would be Dylan Gabriel at Oklahoma, Shedeur Sanders at Colorado, who doesn't have a shot because his team already has 4 losses and could be getting 4 more by the end of the season.
Are they 2-4, 3-4?
They're 4-4.
Oh, they're 4-4.
But they could be 4-8 to end the season. Jordan Travis at Florida State is also in the top 6 of the betting odds right now, and I want to see him play.
Do we think that the shine has come off of Coach Prime? Do we think the shine is off Prime? Because I'll be honest, I haven't cared about a game since they lost to Oregon.
The shine has come off for this season. It really depends on what he does about filling the holes that the team has on the O-line and on defense. And I'm not sure that they can do that the way that he stocked his roster for year 1 because of these new rules concerning transferring. If guys are concerned that he's going to leave Colorado for another opportunity when he gets one, then they might not want to transfer once to have to transfer again or be left behind.
If you were a Division I program right now, you were like the president, the AD, right, Freddie? And you thought, man, look what he did at Colorado, like a once proud program, and then he brought him back to total relevance, all that kind of stuff. Now he does come with some baggage. Obviously, he's kind of a madman, he's going to bring the ire of a lot of people. But if you were running what program do you think he would fit in well with that would want somebody like Coach Prime, as part of their program?
A great question.
Well, I don't know if he would fit in at Texas A&M or Clemson, but both could use him right now compared to what they have.
Clemson's recruiting, that would go through the roof, but I don't. A&M's not a bad idea, but what do you got? Florida. Florida is a great idea, but would a guy from Florida State go?
It would be funny. Or Miami. Miami is kind of
Miami.
on and off
Oh,
lately.
that would be the nail in that rivalry. That would be.
My God.
I mean, either one. If he lands
Yes.
at Florida or Miami, I think he's going to have
I mean,
a lot of
yes.
enemies.
it would be interesting.
What if-
and my one last, I wanted to get in one last
go
honorable
ahead.
mention on the Heisman, and that's Caleb Williams, who is still having a good season for
A bad team.
a quarterback overall. If you were ignoring who it was that he just won a Heisman, you'd think he was having a good season.
Yeah.
But he's kind of running into what I said before the season started as to why he wouldn't win the Heisman, which is he's not necessarily doing better than he was last year. The team isn't, for one.
For sure.
But he's also just not separating himself the way that he should.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Do you
I
think
think he could still get into like the top 10 of the voting?
everybody's talking about him as like the most sure thing prospect since, Andrew Luck or Trevor Lawrence? Do you see that?
I don't see it as much as I did. It kind of will depend on, does the team with the number one pick need a quarterback, or is someone willing to trade up?
Interesting.
It might be Harrison right now. I think Harrison is supplanting him at number one on a lot of boards right now.
I don't trust, outside of Jalen Hurts, and I'll explain why. I don't trust quarterbacks Lincoln Riley develops. I just don't.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Well, it doesn't develop a defense, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. I don't trust. Actually, I do have a question for you, Freddie.
Sure.
So for all the quarterbacks that are getting drafted this year, where do you think they're going to go? If you can make your projection. So we'll go with Bo Nix, Williams, Jaden Daniels, and throw in somebody else. Where do you think they're going to go?
Man, that's something I didn't take notes on, but I can tell you, the Vikings are going to be in the market for someone, because they just got Dobbs as kind of a short-term stopgap. They have Jaren Hall, the rookie, that they're probably going to try to see what they have in him. But if that doesn't work out the way that it needs to, either of those guys, then the Vikings probably are looking at someone in round one.
There's just so much pressure on a dude like Caleb Williams, who's saying like that he's the most sure thing in so many years, and there's so many bad teams that he could go to that could really his whole thing up. Right?
I've kind of been trying to pump the brakes on what I'm hearing he's saying, because a lot of it is coming from like tweets, and I'm not hearing it directly from him, and I'm kind of trying to make sure that I'm not consuming fake news about Caleb Williams just because it sounds like someone who goes to USC would say.
Mm-hmm. Got it. They've got it. It's a thing.
If there's anything I can count on Freddie, he's going to be a Notre Dame fan through and through.
Yeah, through and through. He is objectively a subjective Notre Dame fan, and that's you got to love it about it. All right,
and objectively, Michigan deserves the death penalty.
Yeah, yes, 100%.
And
they do.
BC Lions are going to win in the West semifinal this week.
Yeah, they got Calgary on us.
BC Lion loves to hear that. Love to hear it.
They're hosting a 6-12 team in the playoffs. So
you gotta love CFL. You gotta love the
6-12.
I saw the road dog Quintez Stiggers get an interception a couple weeks ago.
He was voted as the choice for Toronto for the most outstanding rookie in the CFL this year. So each team gets one of those guys, and they go to, I think they do it East and West, and as splitting it down, and then they'll vote for the league most outstanding rookie. And I think he was a unanimous choice.
We gotta
we're gonna hype that up.
OVO Ghost, if you're still in chat, Stiggers is coming to Pittsburgh. Okay, he's like a Joey Porter Jr., right? Put him in that backfield, let him just snipe interceptions. I like Stiggers. Oh man,
it's such a great.
It's the best.
He was already such a great story, going into the CFL, and now it's
he's the best.
How much further can it go?
I love texting Stiggers because he'll get back to me relatively quickly, and he'll always start with yo, my dude. Like everything, yo, my dude. It's the best. He's the best.
Yeah, I have adopted Toronto as my CFL team. I was just reading BC Lions, so I'm hoping Toronto wins this year. I've adopted them as my team.
Leighton,
I just hope they don't have to.
Not sure if you know this. I'm not sure if you know this, but the greatest Notre Dame player in the history of the program, the greatest one to ever don the golden helmet, Rahib Rocket Ishmael, played for the Toronto Argonauts. He didn't go to the NFL. He went to Toronto.
Because they went and gave him a contract better than Joe Montana was getting with the Niners at that point.
Correct.
Wait, what is his name again?
Rahib Rocket Ishmael. He was so good. He returned punts. He was a receiver. He returned kickoffs. I loved him. He was my favorite. He was my favorite Notre Damer of all time. Yeah. The Rocket. And then he got hurt. I think he got hurt he almost won the Heisman. He should have won the Heisman. Who did he lose to? Do you remember who he lost to? Was that the Andre Ware year in Houston?
It might have been.
Oh no. You know who I think it was? I think it was Lawrence Phillips at Nebraska. I think that's who he lost to.
He had a brother?
Quadri. And Quadri played at Illinois, or maybe it was Syracuse or Illinois, I think Quadri. Syracuse. And then he ended up playing for the Ravens, I think, in the league. Yeah.
Vikings.
Oh, Vikings too?
Yeah. I saw a picture of them hugging each other. He was in the Vikings uniform.
Man, Ty Detmer.
Ty Detmer's who we lost to. You're right. Wow. God, the BYU
and
quarterback.
Finished ahead of Eric Bieniemy.
He did.
At number 3.
Yes, he did. Bieniemy.
It's so cool to be coaches that were like superstars in college now.
I know.
I didn't know Steve Sarkisian was a quarterback at BYU. I just learned.
Yeah,
because he just played them this past week.
Sark week. Look out.
Sark week.
Treat every week like
Sark.
There you go. Oh man. Anyway, Freddie, thank you so much for being on the show. What do you got? You got one more? What do you got?
I got one more. Since you mentioned, you love Canadian football.
Hit it.
This past week, in Canadian college football,
the Alouettes.
There was a game with postseason implications.
Okay.
In the RSEQ, which is some French name for the Quebec football conference, basically.
Way to go,
They have 5 teams, and they have a 4-team playoff to send a team to the national playoff.
Okay.
This weekend, they had 0-7 Sherbrooke taking on 1-6 McGill for a spot in that playoff. One of those teams would get 4th place. And Sherbrooke won to go 1-7, but they make the postseason.
You know what's funny, John?
What's that?
That's what this weekend is going to look like for us. So Morehouse, it's our rivalry against Clark Atlanta, our next door neighbors. We're both 0-9.
Oh God.
We're both 0-9. So someone's getting that one.
What if you tie? Can you tie? Will the game just end?
Yeah, just I guess.
9 overtimes.
9 overtimes. Okay, so here's the funny one. And so you were saying so first of all, I was in Montreal one time and I bought weed off a student at McGill. So there you go. I was just like wandering around Montreal. Hey, there's got to be weed at a college. Like they sell weed in colleges. Okay. In high school, our rival Layton they were like 0-9 going into the final game. We always played them last game of the season. They were 0-9. We were 9-0, and we won in overtime. You should have seen the stand. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna!" That's what rivalry games do, man. That's what rivalry games do.
It is. Good old hate.
Good old hate.
My senior year of high school, in the state of Indiana, all high school teams make the playoffs.
So it's like Hoosiers. Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
My school went 4-5. We made the championship game. We lost.
Look at that.
But we beat. I think our rival went 7-2 in the regular season, and we beat them in that first game of the playoffs. The other Catholic school in town, or in the area.
Bastards, those Jesuit sons of bitch. No, I don't know. Okay, now, Freddie, here's the other question. Is that okay? So you went 4-5. What was the record of the Giants the year they beat the undefeated Patriots when they went into the playoffs?
It was 10-6 or 9-7.
I think they were 9-7. I'm pretty sure they were 9-7. So anything can happen. Listen, you won 4 games. You know how to win. All you need to go in there and do it.
I think we more than doubled our win total in the playoffs.
There you go. Freddie Airmail, absolute legend. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you're looking forward to this Saturday, fan-controlled racing live from Phoenix Raceway.
I will try to tune in. There's a lot of good football
There
on
is a lot of
Saturday
good
as
football.
well.
Look,
But I'll
you're
be
gonna
rooting
be
for
there,
you guys.
Freddie. Don't you let me down, damn it! Don't you let me down.
Yeah.
Okay,
We need
I'm
your
growing out this mustache just for you. Okay.
You
It's getting
got to
a
get
little
a little more down here.
You want the understash? You want the understash? Just putting a stripe down here, Leighton. Oh, would that look gross?
Put a stripe down there. Shave off all the rest.
Oh,
you're gonna have a landing strip on your neck.
A neck stripe.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
a neck stripe.
Yeah.
Freddie, stay safe out there. Everybody enjoy your Halloween. For Leighton Batiste, myself, everybody here at Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment, stay tuned. We got live streams coming up tomorrow and Thursday, the Fan Controlled Show. We're doing a test stream tomorrow. There's going to be a big test stream on Friday with all kinds of fun stuff going on from the racetrack there in Phoenix. And then live Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live streaming here as the fan-controlled race car takes the track in Phoenix for the Xfinity Championship. The one, the only JJ Yeley driving the Yeley jacket. We saw the car. It's up on our social media. It is looking absolutely incredible. Myself, Natalie Decker, Andrew Curlin from Dirty Mo Productions, and Ash Vanderlei. Oh, please, I've gotten that right. Ashley Vandelay will be joining us live on stream as well as some special guests, picks, polls. You're controlling the car. And guess where Leighton will be? He'll be in Phoenix. He'll be at the track.
I'm excited. I'm trying to figure out what should my fit be. So like, should I?
Oh, let's work on your fit for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here in chat. Thanks to John Brostrom and Ian Peacock. And please stay tuned for more picks and polls as we get going here. I'm taking the rest of the night off to go trick-or-treating with my little daughter, but we'll be back to work tomorrow. And congratulations to our buddy Quantez Stiggers. Until the next time, power to the fans. Leighton, keep talking while I find the end video here.
Back to work. I might watch Cars or Speed Racer.
Do you like when I asked JJ Yeley, when I asked him, how realistic is the movie Cars?
He froze. Like, wait.
Wait. All right. See everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, control your engines. Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment is heading to the NASCAR Xfinity Championship race in Phoenix, Arizona. Fans choose the driver, the car design, and 4 lucky fans get their face on the car. Download the Fan Controlled Control app and start voting now. This is Fan Controlled Racing. Did you enjoy that video from Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment? Of course you did. What was it? I have no idea. This is a stock end card on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, watch all of our other videos, comment, like, subscribe, but make sure you don't smash the like button.